Welcome to our sixth session of today's conference. And our speaker, Parvina Rizoeva from Tajikistan. Let me introduce her. Parvina Rizoeva is an EFL instructor at Tajikistan State University and a candidate of philological sciences. Since 2017, she has pursued extensive professional development, including TESOL-related MOOCs and open course on culture in EFL, and training in international conference proposal writing supported by US institutions. She has participated in major international programs such as the TESOL conference in the US and a summer school in Italy, and has been an active contributor to EWB conferences. Her recent work includes involvement in environmental and TESOL initiatives, ongoing professional training, and presenting research on American children's literature at an international conference in 2026. She will be speaking on the topic of inclusive assessment and feedback. Welcome, Parvina. We are very happy to have you today.
Okay, can you hear me? And can you see my screen now? Hello?
Yes, we can.
Okay, I'm glad. I think I was able
just
to
a
share my
second.
screen.
I will
Yes?
share your PPT.
No, I'm sharing, I think. No?
Gulruh, can you hear
Yeah,
me?
we can see
Are you
Parvina.
going to be a
Yes.
chat
Yeah, we
moderator?
can see your. We can see your
Yes.
presentation.
That's fine. I'm happy. Okay, so hello, dear everyone, dear mentors, colleagues, friends. I feel very honored to be presenting today. And I extend my gratitude to the Open team for their gracious invitation. So I work at Tajikistan State University, as was mentioned before. And what are the objectives of my presentation? So we'll talk a little bit about assessment and its types, and we'll discuss the drawbacks of traditional assessment, and we'll analyze inclusive assessment and how can we make assessment more inclusive. I would like also to talk about 7 principles of good feedback and introduce to you the feedback profiling tool, which would help you help other colleagues and young professionals to design more effective feedback. So, before I start my presentation, I would like to just show the references in order to give credit to our mentor, Anastasia Bezborodova. I'm actually using mostly her presentation. She was our trainer for several months last academic year at Tajikistan State University for English language teachers. English is a foreign language teachers of Tajikistan State University. So due to her, we enhanced our knowledge regarding this topic. And also I watched the video of Nashwa Ali Muhammad. It was also on YouTube and also on British Council's channel. I enjoyed it a lot. So there are some articles I would like to suggest you for reading. They will help you get better knowledge and better understanding of inclusive assessment. So, okay. So what is assessment? Actually, it directs our attention to what is important. It acts as an incentive for study and has a powerful effect on, what students do and how they do it. Okay, so most of us know that there are several types of assessment. There is diagnostic assessment, formative assessment, and summative assessment. So can I? Okay. So, diagnostic assessment is usually used at the beginning of the course, so the teacher gets knowledge about the students or gets idea about the students' knowledge and can measure it. Formative assessment is carried out during the course, so as to see the progress of a student. And summative assessment is the exams that we usually have during the end of the course. So, what are the drawbacks of traditional assessment? The first drawback is standardization. So what it means that most teachers use, especially those who stick to traditional assessment, we use a one-size-fits-all model for assessment, which doesn't take into consideration the learning styles of students, their disabilities if they have some. Another drawback is narrow focus of traditional assessment. So narrow focus means that we do not integrate any kind of soft skills such as critical thinking, creative thinking, and high order skills for assessment. We just mostly focus on memorization. A high stakes nature. Everyone knows when we were students ourselves that especially summative assessment was a stressful procedure or kind of situation for all of us, and students are under a very big pressure which is related to time constraints and to a large kind of proportion of tasks or information to learn. And teaching to the test, this is one of the biggest problems because teachers cannot go beyond their textbooks. Mostly, they have to prepare their students for future exams. I think there isn't any teacher who would like his or her student to fail the exam. That's why we prepare them for tests mostly without being able to incorporate other kinds of materials into our teaching experience. So, what is inclusive assessment? So, assessment that proactively minimizes exclusion or disadvantage. It means that if any of our students has disabilities like dyslexia or like problems with eyesight or something, we prepare the materials according to their needs, and incorporates a balance of assessment tasks. It means that we do not use only one kind of assessment. For example, only essays, just one type of assessment, but try to use different kinds, as the previous presenters also mentioned it, that we can present our students a choice. We can suggest them either to write an essay or to prepare a project-based task, or to prepare some presentation or an interview or a video, etc. So, and it includes varied conditions. Of course, for me, it was a kind of revelation that we can use both invigilated, non-invigilated, open book and closed book types of assessment. It occurs that in some developed countries, maybe in our neighboring countries also, I don't know, maybe at the end of the session, some our colleagues will share their experience, or in the chat they will share their experience about using non-invigilated like tests and exams. So, and distributes timing across the program. And this is also quite innovative approach when you ask students to do the task not in the end of the course, but you divide the task into several chunks. For example, instead of writing a not very meaningful, not very good essays of a good quality, we can like divide it into several weeks. For example, the first week they can choose the topic. For 3 weeks they can write a paragraph, or we can also ask students to like prepare a portfolio where they include several tasks, and then we assess them like on the basis of this portfolio. Okay, and at the same time, inclusive assessment doesn't mean that we need to reduce the standards. We have to use the same requirement for all the students, but provide them more opportunities to perform well and more chances to perform well. Okay, so how can we make assessment more inclusive? We can use a diverse range of summative assessment, as was mentioned above. We can incorporate authentic elements, and there are 2 key factors, as was mentioned also about it is conditions, invigilated, non-invigilated, open like tests, open book tests and closed book tests, coursework, etc. And I also mentioned about timing. So we can space it across the year, across the program, etc. Okay. And 7 principles, there are 7 principles of good feedback. So first of all, it helps clarify what good performance is. So if a student doesn't know the target, he or she cannot hit it. So we need to explain, to give clear explanations, to give like rubrics, checklist for our students so that they could reach it. Another thing is that good feedback facilitates the development of self-assessment in learning. So the students using their checklist, their rubrics, or we can also show them, demonstrate the examples of an excellent essay or a very bad essay, and use the rubrics to discuss them, and the students can assess their own work using those criteria. So, and a good feedback delivers high quality information to students about their learning. So the student can rely on the information to engage in more learning. And if a teacher points to the mistakes, gives concrete guidance, then student can find their way. And the 4th principle is that it encourages teacher and peer dialogue around learning. Usually, in the end of the presentation, I will share one of my feedback like a piece of feedback that I gave to my students, and there you can see that there isn't mostly any kind of dialogue. There is a kind of monologue. I point to the mistakes without giving any kind of encouragement, without showing the way how the student can improve his or her work, and without any kind of clarification. Instead of like criticizing the student, we could ask clarifying questions like, are you sure that this word is appropriate here? Or are you sure that the word is academic? Did you use any kind of sources for the piece of information you brought here? This kind of dialogue. And students later, in the next class, student can like study those questions, those suggestions, and express their opinion and their findings regarding those questions. So, and it encourages positive motivational belief and self-esteem. Actually, if if teachers use correct feedback, following some adopted principles, the students will be motivated to study better and not to quit in the halfway. And it provides opportunities to close the gap between current and desired performance. So if learners know what their shortcomings are, and if the teacher gives concrete examples and guidance, the students can close that gap. And this is also a good piece of feedback. It gives information to teachers that can help shape teaching, and teachers then using AI tools, as previous presenters cascaded their knowledge and their tools, we can create like customized feedback for our students and customized assessment in the future. So, dear participants, I cannot see anyone, but I hope the moderators will help me. So, read this feedback and give your opinion if it is inclusive or not, and why. Yes, I will read it. Your essay is not very good. You made too many grammatical mistakes, and your ideas are confusing. Try harder next time. Are there any answers? Very judgmental and discouraging. Yes, I agree. It discourages. Yeah, that's correct. Mostly you can see that the feedback is negative. It points to the mistakes but doesn't say any positive thing, and the ipsative feedback is also missing here, is absent. If we speak about ipsative feedback, it's a kind of feedback that compares the student work to his previous work, not to the work of another student. So that's why it's important to track the students' progress attentively so that the students felt themselves valued. Okay. And look at this feedback and express your ideas about it in our chat box. You have made a good start with your essay, especially your ideas about the holiday. I noticed a few grammar mistakes in your past tense use. Try using your past tense reference sheet to check them. Next, you could add more details about what you did and how you felt to make your writing clearer. Well done for completing your first draft. Yes, thank you. Let's see. Yes, Sadoqat is saying that it is a motivating feedback, positive, constructive feedback. Good one, Nazgul is saying. Feedback must be motivating and encouraging, correct. And it's not judgmental. Thank you, Bakhti Bikim. More detailed, correct, Zalina Satulganova. Yes, I hope everyone can hear me because I cannot see anything, but I can read your comments, yes. Yes, thank you. It directs the learner to what to do. That's correct, Dr. Hanan. Thank you. So, first of all, yes, the teacher gives concrete information about specific information about the essay. First of all, the teacher starts with a positive feedback, and the teacher also like points to the past tense incorrect use, and it appears that the teacher used a scaffolding, and before the students started writing the essay, he or she provided them with a reference sheet, and the teacher gives clear guidance to the student what to do next. Thank you. And okay, so you can have a look at feedback profiling tool by Hugh Smith and Chris. So why is it necessary? It is necessary for us, for teachers, to prepare our assessment correctly and to check our colleagues' works in the future also, and maybe to check and to compare the peer assessment of our students. So, it has to contain praise and recognition of progress. So includes positive feedback and acknowledgement of improvement. At the same time, we cannot use only positive feedback because it also can demotivate students. And it has to contain critique also. It includes correction of errors, factual critiques, and critique of structure. And there are three kinds of critique and three kinds of advice. So advice also includes on specific advice to the assessment, general advice for the assignment, and advice for future learning. And at the same time, it should contain clarification requests or queries. And some unclassified statements can also be seen in a feedback, in a piece of feedback, yes. Okay, please, dear colleagues, let us analyze this sheet. It is a kind of chart in order to make easier for you the next activity that we are going to do together. So Yes, you can see P1, praise is thought to be motivating, but if used indiscriminately, it can appear insincere. The second, P2, recognizing progress or ipsative feedback. Acknowledging progress can be motivating and inform students about their learning. Lack of progress also serves as an early warning that action is needed. So, critique, the first kind of critique, C1, correction of errors, numerical or verbal mistakes, referencing errors, and spelling mistakes. C2, factual critiques, critique of content. Yes. C3, critique of approach, structure and argument, and three kinds of advice, as I mentioned above. At A1, advice specific to current assignment. A2, general points that refer to the current assignment. And A3, general points for future learning and future assignments. Clarification, requests or queries, and unclassified statements. Okay, I would kindly ask you to maybe take the photo of this page, because I have the examples of my last year feedback, and let's analyze it together, if you are ready. Okay. Yes, okay. These are two examples of my feedback. First, let us analyze the feedback to the work of Hakimov Hamza. Yes, I'm giving you some time to use the chart that I shared with you, or the chart that actually I downloaded from Westminster University website. They are conducting IELCA project for our university students, and we have another kinds of plans for this academic year. Please, I'm giving you 2 minutes maybe. Yes, I think 2 minutes are enough, and then you can unmute yourself, or you can write your ideas, what kind of feedback I used. Can you see P1, P2, C1, C2, C3, A1, A2, A3 in the first, this one? Okay, 2 minutes.
Sorry, Parvina. So here the participants are asking enlarging the presentation. Can you please enlarge it in order to make it visible?
Can you please enlarge slide? Can you make it larger?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So, I hope you have finished reading this and analyzing this feedback. Please, I would be very happy to see your comments. How many P1s or P2s did you see in even like both of the presentations? Yes, here.
Okay, Parvina, we do have the comment by Kristina Danilova from Turkmenistan. I can see that it has more of negative feedback.
Yes, okay.
Mhm. And then by
Yes.
Delora Kasimova as well, you have not provided that they've already corrected assessment, but have told weak points in evaluation. However, you needed to give guidance and more detailed feedback to the students to make him clear pieces in the work.
Yes, thank you very much. So, if we like consider the feedback profiling tool provided or like I don't know, invented by Hughes and her colleagues, we can see that yes, that's correct. I mostly used C1 in my work. I can only see more examples would make your essay stronger. So I think this one is A1, and this is a kind of a piece of advice for the current essay. And here you can see that I have mentioned or kind of noted that thesis is missing and supporting sentences are not enough, only 2 sentences, and conclusion is weak and grammar is weak. Using this opportunity, I would like to express my gratitude to our mentor, Ella Maksakova, who kind of worked with us last year, and we kind of conducted a research, and she, looking through my feedback, told me that I only gave negative feedback and without any guidance and scaffolding, and students reading the feedback can only have negative feelings without any like idea what to do next. And
Sorry, Parvina, here one more comment regarding to your speech. So by Gula, sorry for interrupting. So yeah, this feedback is not inclusive because it relies heavily on negative evaluation, like weak, excessive, doesn't have any valuable idea without offering constructing steps or supportive encouragement to guide the students' development.
Yes, that's true. In the second feedback, you can also see the same. So now seeing the drawbacks in our own style and manner of giving feedback, actually, I decided we are planning to carry out mini projects this year. So of course I'm going to use totally different kind of feedback in the future, and of course I am planning to use the AI tools that was kind of advised by our previous colleagues for making them more individual. Of course, I'm not going to use individual feedback, assignment for every student, but maybe dividing them into different levels, like weaker students, stronger students, etc. So the same with Diora, her feedback even has less sentences, less guidance, so that she could see and follow our advice, or my advice in this case. So thank you for your attention. Yes, I hope I'll be able to answer if there are any questions. Thank you for your time and for your active participation, dear colleagues and friends.
Thank you, Parvina. Any questions for our presenter, Gulruh?
Thank you. I can see your hearts.
Gulruh, any questions?
Yeah,
No?
so sorry, my internet connection. Okay. So we do have a question, yes, by Rayhona Ruslanova. So do you think if students go through their essays and give feedbacks to each other, will be possible?
Yes, actually, of course. I have never used, maybe from the point of view of the knowledge I obtained from the webinars by Anastasia Bezborodova from Westminster University. Yes, my the style that I used wasn't inclusive, but I learned how to use rubrics in the English Teaching Mentor program. So when students made presentations, they assessed each other's work, and we used rubrics, and I engaged my students in creating the rubrics first. We just chose criteria, what was the most important thing, like grammar, body language, the vocabulary choice, and then they peer assessed each other's presentations. Yes, and it was carried out anonymously, so the assessment was fair. I just
Thank you.
gave them the charts and then collected them and calculated the last result according to the rubrics.
Thank you, Parvina. So we do have the same question. So the continuous of the previous question. So by Gulalik Gelde Muradova, sorry if I have pronounced incorrectly your name. So when students have peer assessment, they can hurt each other. So what to do in that case?
Yes, actually, as I said before, we can use the feedback profiling tool. We can introduce it to our students, and of course we have to, and I tell my students to use sandwich style, say something positive, then bring some suggestions, maybe questions. Do you think this I don't know, thesis statement is strong? Not maybe saying something negative, but clarifying questions. And then another positive feedback, but it must be concrete. So yes, we need to teach our students be polite as much as possible. I think it's my personal opinion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Parvina. So far, we do not have any questions. So mostly thanks notes for your wonderful presentation.
I appreciate your kind words. Thank you very much for your attention.
You are welcome. So Irkin, so are you here?
Yes.
So we are done, Irkin. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see. I'm sound made my sound off because of the outside noise. So thank you so much, Parvina. Thank you for agreeing to speak for our community. It's a great pleasure to have you today. Thanks for your active participation in our regular webinars. Okay, let me stop.